Hey everybody, how'd you like that ending shot there? I thought that, all good movies end with a happy ending. So, I thought that live stream deserved a happy ending, so there we go. Just down the way from God Bless America. Gotta love this country. And even in spite of stopping at the Cadillac Ranch, Matthew continues to be a monster. Life goes on outside of the Cadillac Ranch. But while there, all life stops. And you think you have died and gone to hell. I wasn't about to put an SSL message up there on that stuff. Those kids had painted all that stuff on there, I was like... It was wet, stinky. I just wanted out of there. I was thinking Hurricane Matt Crowther. I think that is a very fitting hurricane for Matt Crowther. That hurricane is filling up its curse jar all the way to the East Coast. The women would like to think it is Matthew McConaughey. So the story of how the hurricanes got named originally was the guys and gals that worked at the National Hurricane Center, when they started deciding to name the hurricanes, just got together and started throwing out names of wives and ex-wives and daughters. And at the time, it was only women's name they used. So they just came up with this big old giant list of people's family members, and I think Camille was named after John Hope's daughter. People always ask, how did the hurricanes get their names? Well, that's how it was. They sat down in a meeting one day and just throwing out names. Oh, there was a movement. I don't know if you knew this or not, but I got this from some inside information. It was squelched pretty quickly, but there was at least a movement to name the H-storm, which this year was Hortense, I believe, or something like that, or Horatio, whatever that weird H-name storm, when they were like having to replace a retired H-storm or whatever. It was like last year or this year. It was when that gorilla, Harambe, was in the news. And there was actually a movement to name the H-storm after the gorilla, but it was quickly squelched. He did work at the Weather Channel. I was lucky enough to have worked with him for about 3 years. And let me tell you what, I soaked in every last bit of knowledge that man had to impart upon me for those 3 years. Sadly, he passed away. He retired, and then I think he passed away a couple of years later. So he didn't, he just loved, he was passionate about tropical weather and warning the public. And when he was no longer doing that, when he retired, he just probably lost his will to live. See that happen a lot. And he worked well into his 70s, so he worked way past retirement age. But when he finally did retire, it was like that was pretty much it. So I just kind of heard that had happened. Do they know anything about the suspect? How did it all end? Did the person kill themselves? What was the motive? Does anybody have the lowdown on that? Was it like a student that brought a gun in? Good. Well, glad they got him. Glad he's gonna face the music, didn't kill himself. Glad somebody was brave enough to tackle him. There's the Big Texan. The infamous Big Texan right there. Wow. You finish off a big steak and all the fixings and a drink in less than an hour, and you get a free 72-ounce steak and your name on a plaque. There's video on YouTube of a young lady, couldn't have been weighed more than 100 pounds, downing not only one but two in less than an hour. She knocked out the first one, I think, in 15 minutes. Giant 600-pound behemoths have not been able to complete that challenge. And here's this little 100-pound girl who was able to do it. Apparently, she's able to totally relax her esophagus, and everything just falls right down into her stomach like you would pour water into a bucket. A freak of nature. But she's on the internet if you want to check her out. Pretty impressive. Yeah, there's a lot of anger in the world. It's not just kids, it's everybody. You know, everybody wants to blame the kids and, yeah, this generation is shit and blah, blah, blah and everything. No, it's this society nowadays that's pretty shitty right now. Everybody's angry at everything. All you got to do is look on social media at all the hate and anger that gets spewed on, you know, the simplest of topics. Well, I'm a pretty big guy, and I know I couldn't do it. Hell. My esophagus has issues anyway, so that would prevent me from ever even attempting such a feat. And, you know, there's a tendency for people nowadays to really, and these are adults, to really act like schoolyard bullies. You know, if somebody's having problems in their life, then people get on social media and they rub salt in the wound, or they kick you while you're down. Just saying mean and hateful things, just, I guess, to make themselves feel important, and, you know, the little group of people they're trying to impress, make them think that there's something special. But it's really stupid. I see that all the time with adults on social media now. It's always social media, because nobody's going to do that shit to somebody's face because they know they're going to get their ass kicked. You know, if it was just the steak, but it's everything else, it's like green beans and mashed potatoes and, you know, a couple of biscuits, some bread, big old tall glass of beverage. Usually this part of the world you only see when there are supercells looming, so this is what it looks like normally. Good old Texas Panhandle. Man, it used to be an active place for severe weather back in the 80s and early 90s, and it has become very sparse recently over the past 10 or 20 years. Still happens out here, but not nearly the frequency. There were times in the past when I first started chasing that this part of the country was about the main number one area that I would chase in. I mean, I spent a lot of time in the Texas Panhandle. In fact, some chase seasons I would spend the majority of the chase season chasing the Panhandle. That's how common it was. And now you still get the outbreaks down here occasionally, but they're very few, far between, and for the most part, the Panhandle, like a lot of Texas, has not seen the frequency as it used to early in the season. You could always count on April and first part of May being incredibly active down through, central and eastern Texas. Then that shifts up into West Texas and the Panhandle later in May to very early June. And anymore, it's just hit or miss. A little rain farther east. Oh my goodness, I don't even see any clouds beyond these cumulus here that look like they end in about 20 miles. Looks totally clear out there. Must be something down near the horizon I can't see. I was craving baked potatoes a couple of days ago. I don't know why. I was thinking about when I got home, man, I needed to go get some sour cream for my baked potatoes. I was thinking about cooking salmon and baked potatoes. When you're out here and you're not eating healthy and you're not eating much at all, really, you start dreaming and thinking of these foods that you're going to make when you get home. It's like, can't wait to make this. Can't wait to do this. Oh, yes. Thing is getting stronger. Oh my God. 938.5. If you ever watched the movie Castaway and Tom Hanks' character is returning the package that never got delivered the day that the plane went down to this lady, this artist in West Texas, in the Texas Panhandle. It was somewhere right around in here on a little farm and market road, dirt road, that they filmed that scene. And if you look around, you can kind of see, it looks very similar, just flat, no trees. always thought that was kind of neat. They filmed that particular scene out here in the Panhandle. I'm sure that was quite a shocker to folks in McLean, Texas. Tom Hanks comes walking into the cafe and orders him up some grub. I'm sure everybody just kind of put down their silverware at that point. Yay! Sarah's going to be an auntie again. That's awesome. know what, folks? Now I'm starting to think these wind farms do stretch all the way across the Panhandle. We're more than halfway across the Panhandle now, and those wind farms are still going off to our left. I think there was some damage to the one near Dodge City last year, or this year during the Dodge City tornado day. All right, Mary Lou. Nothing like nieces and nephews, I tell you. They're awesome. It doesn't matter how old they get, they're always those little kid nieces and nephews that you remember them as. I have twin nieces, Sarah and Nicole, and I would always babysit them, me and my wife, Lita. We would babysit them all the time when they were little babies and everything, and then now they're all grown up, they're in their 30s, and they talk about adult subject matter on Facebook and about having drinks and this and that, which beer they like. And it's very uncomfortable because I still see them as little 5-year-olds. What? Come on, Al. You mean this isn't interesting enough for you? You have to watch a movie? You don't want to sit around and watch the back end of a semi all day? Come on now. Show me some love. My twin nieces. So I would change their diapers and take care of them. We'd play games and stuff. Do all the little uncling these things together. And now that they're all grown up, it's uncomfortable seeing some of their posts on Facebook. Here's the giant cross on Interstate 40. Is massive. There's some dude that put up several of these around Texas. There's one down on I-35 in North Texas, down around Dallas. It's like they've made a little park out of it now. Used to be just a cross out there, and now there's a little park and some other stuff. It's funny, the one in North Texas is right down the road from a Triple X gift store, one of those super stores. Sounds like the Wi-Fi in my daughter's dorm room. I asked to constantly go to the library and use their Wi-Fi because in her dorm, the Wi-Fi is off and on. It's ridiculous. She can't even do homework in her own dorm room. She has to go to the library until 11 o'clock at night, do it, and then walk across campus alone. You got the run of the place, Patrick. You can partake in sausages and nuts all you want now, without mom and dad asking for them. Yeah, probably the same dude, Perry. They're all pretty much the same style and everything. I think it's the same guy that is responsible for all of them around the country. I guess he just buys a little plot of land on some farmer's land and puts the cross there. Pampa, Texas. Very famous video, I think Chuck Doswell shot back in, I believe, 1995 of a tornado in Pampa, Texas. Really tearing things up. Yeah, it happens down here. They get them. Like I said, they used to get them a lot more often back in the 80s and early to mid 90s, but still get them down here. Yeah, this one is not working. It's pretty breezy out. And those other ones were, but these have all been stopped. Must be doing maintenance on the system or something. They're all just kind of frozen. Is that how that works? Okay. Makes sense. switch over to Ustream so I can play some music. Ah, here's the rest area. When I return, after turning the stream off to go to the bathroom, I will come back with the hamster dance on Ustream. So everybody make sure you're on Ustream when I come back. We'll get this little hamster dance action going. And I understand that Sarah will get video of her dancing to the hamster dance, and we'll post it to the chat. So be looking for that. Right, Sarah?